Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another IAD live event. My name is Chris Pfluger. I am your managing director here at IAD Florida, and I'm very excited today to follow up our just recent announcement of a partnership with Final Offer. And so a lot of folks ask me what it is, what's it all about, how does it help the agents, how does it help our clients? And so I will start off by saying it's a tremendous technology opportunity and competitive advantage for IAD. So with that, I'll always start off with the same thing and saying, what is the purpose of this, right? So the purpose of our conversation is why the number one reason that agents, get a complaint, right? What's the biggest complaint if you're a client? Lack of communication, a lack of transparency. You don't know what the heck's going on during the buying and selling process. And if your agent is not tippy top, you're always wondering what's next. Why are we haven't done this? What's going on? Do we have any offers? What happens if I put an offer in? Did this other one beat me out? Why? I never know, right? I never know. And so we have found a solution to this. And so in line with what we like to do globally here at IAD is provide the very, very, very best technology for our agents to be effective. But in this case, it helps our clients equally. So I'm joined today by Bob Butterfield. Bob is representing Final Offer today as a VP of Enterprise Sales, and Jocelyn also is associated with there you go, Jocelyn Boss. There it is. Also associated very closely with Final Offer and running their Chief Knowledge Officer. But Jocelyn has a special role because she's also an agent in the DC market, and she actually uses the product on a daily basis. So we're going to hear from two perspectives. So welcome and thank you guys for joining me.
Thanks for having
Thanks,
us.
Chris. I think that when we talk about Final Offer being a solution, it's important to briefly to talk about what problem we are solving. And the problem is what you just mentioned is that even if you actually were able to buy a house or able to sell a house, you never felt like you had all the information. Did I sell it too soon? Did I get the best price for my house? Was it marketed effectively? Did enough people actually put offers in on it that could have? And as a buyer, did I overpay, or why did I not get the house? What didn't I know? And it was that lack of information that really frustrated consumers across the board. And that's sort of how we ended up here as an industry. But it's not really the realtor's fault, because until now, they didn't have that information available to them. They really didn't know all the details about offers that were put in. And so the gap was still there. Final Offer is here to address that. And Jocelyn has been with Final Offer since the beginning, but she's also a top agent in the DC market and uses it every day in her own business. And so I think she can speak very credibly to the difference it's made for her and the difference it's making in the industry in multiple states, that we're in right now.
Well, let me jump in there, Bob, real quick. So, Jocelyn, obviously you use the product and then you came aboard, you're with, Final Offer. So if I am a, listing agent, I believe you are, right? What benefits are there to me as an IAD listing agent in Florida? What do I get from it? How can I utilize this product and how can I interact and really help my clients?
Yeah, so you all have full functionality and access to our platform. And when you think about it, when you go to a listing appointment and you're up against another agent, or just assume you are at this point, whether you know or not, it is so important to differentiate yourself. Everyone does the same thing. How can you really show your value? You're showing your value by allowing the seller to be an active participant in the process like never before. They get to see in real time every single offer that's made. They get to, with their agent, dynamically strategize and make changes throughout the offer process by leveraging our technology to get the best outcome. Whether that's real-time offer alerts, the ability to disclose offers, the ability to start an offer window, or use a final offer button. Whether you're in a stale market, a slow market, or a hot market, the product works, and it's also showing your value and bringing the consumer into being an active participant like never before. So they really believe in you, see the trust, and they can see what's going on in real time versus you constantly telling them we need to lower the price or we need to try this, and them saying, oh, my agent's not doing anything. It's very easy to point the finger when you have someone blocking you from access to data.
Well, at that point, you can actually see then, as a client, there's more value in an agent that's utilizing a better system, right? So that's one of the competitive advantages. I think that's why we jumped on it so quickly here in Florida, is we wanted to be able to offer our agents the ability to have those professional conversations, but be able to leverage the data, the information, and the transparency that's being requested in today's market, which I think 9 chances out of 10, you're going to realize that's why most of the lawsuits have occurred, is the lack of transparency, the lack of understanding the process. We obviously, none of us as agents want to be involved in that again. So we want to make sure that we provide as much value to our clients as humanly possible. And in this case, I think it's phenomenal. So I know for a fact that those conversations that I'm having as an agent with a home that wants to be listed, with a client that has a home that wants to be listed, is a much more in-depth conversation than I would typically have. I would typically show them, this is everything we can do. I'm going to put marketing out here. I'm going to do literally checkbox everything that everyone else does. And, oh, please use me because I'm a really nice guy, right?
Right.
In this case, you want to use me because I have something that nobody else is really offering out there.
Exactly.
And you'll have a better experience selling your home. Now, I will say, when I first heard this, it was just on the cusp, right, with final offer, of having 37 offers in every home. My neighborhood people used to drive down and say, hey, you want to sell that house? Just surprisingly, that couldn't continue forever, right? So now I thought, well, what are we going to use this product for if I'm not getting all these offers? And then you realize it really is a tool to increase your value to your client either way, right? So Jocelyn, if you would tell us, I know that you and I talked before about stale listings, right? Sometimes you have a listing, it's been out there for a while, it wasn't on final offer originally. What would you do there?
Gosh, so we have two really strong opportunities that I personally have leveraged on over 28 listings where I have not had multiple offers. So I am the stale listing queen, as I like to say. One route of going at this is, real estate is a very one-to-one relationship where I'm working with an agent here, I'm telling them information, then this one. Never have you been able to put everyone in the room to see what's going on. So let's say you've had a lot of showings on a property, but no offers. The likelihood is you're overpriced, but the seller doesn't see that. So imagine dropping the price solely on final offer and doing kind of like an exclusive deal where you're reverse offering to everyone who's seen it and said, hey, everyone, we're willing to accept X price and these terms with a window of time where all parties have an opportunity to make a higher offer. So it's not, there's no days on market. There's no harm in doing this, and see if you can get some traction. Now, the first deal I ever did, no one had seen the property in over a month, and I got 2 people to bid the property back up from leveraging this way of functionality of using the system. So that's kind of our reverse offering. You also have the ability of dropping the MLS list price, even significantly. Okay. And I've done this significantly before because ultimately I say to the seller, look, we just want an offer and then I can leverage the system to do something with it. Or maybe we'll get multiple offers, but there's no commitment to you accepting this offer. But let's at least get people in the door, open up the buyer pool and get some traction. So I've dropped the list price significantly, eventually got an offer on one property, and then I leveraged our countering functionality. So this example, I had one offer where they offered me 250 grand. Okay. And I said, we had started at 350. So, this is a tough market. And I said, we'll do 255, but we're going to publicly disclose your offer for 3 hours, giving everyone the chance to make a higher offer, or come to 265 and you can take it right now. They picked option B. No other offer on the table. I got 15 grand out because someone was willing to pay a premium to know I'm done. I don't have to deal with competition, negotiations. This is it, right? No other offer on the table, stale listing. Okay, this is how I can grow my business, though, by having good experiences for my clients. There's more retention in the deal because the buyer is choosing to win or choosing to say, okay, I'm good with this in any scenario on our site, which they've never had that choice before. So all of it has really compounded to how I'm able to leverage the system to get the best outcome, even with a stale listing.
Well, I can imagine, as a client, not only am I involved in the process, with the clarity and transparency really provides me almost like I'm involved in the deal. Whereas before it's like you're third party and you're having a whisper campaign. How much they say? Oh, are you sure we got the most? I'm pretty sure. And then you're relying, do you have a good agent that's really truly bidding that up? Or are they just trying to get it over with and move on, right? You just don't know. And, in a world where we have, 1.6 million realtors out there, There's bound to be some really, really good ones,
Right.
but a lot of others, right? So, as a client, I want to make sure that I at least have some, safeguards on this so I can at least see what
Yeah.
I'm doing. And this helps the really good agents take it to that next level. So,
Well, and just to add really quick, Chris, I think as agents, we were taught at some point in time that our superpower was hoarding information. That is
yeah,
our value add. I have this private information for you. When ultimately, it's the worst thing that you can actually do. It hurts the buyer's agents, it hurts all parties involved. It makes the experience awful. Imagine saying, I'm opening the curtain. Come on in for the process to see how great of a negotiator I am. That to me sounds like a way to grow your business and build trust with consumers.
well, I think the consumer wanted to see it, right? The
Of
consumer wanted to see
course.
this, and
Who
that's what
wouldn't?
the crux of most of our conversations. And let's flip the coin. Let's say I'm a buyer's agent, right? And I've got a consumer that's coming in and they're looking to buy this home. And there might be multiple offers. There might be 4 or 5 people interested because it's in a great neighborhood at a fairly decent price, but the market is now recovering where there's some inventory out there, but this one's the house I really want. How does it help you as a agent and how does it help you as the client on the buy side?
I think in a lot of ways, I feel more confident as a buyer's agent saying to my clients, instead of these like smart people where I'm like, we're going to guess what it takes to buy the biggest asset of your life, or whatever doesn't keep you up at night is what we're going to escalate to. Is I'm saying to them, here are your risks if you want to keep making offers based on, I'm concerned it won't appraise. Like I actually have intelligent conversations where I can guide them with real information that I've never had access to in real time. So in general, I feel a lot more confident as a buyer's agent that I'm showing my value versus playing a mind reading guessing game. Number one. And number two, a lot of this is that I'm allowing buyers to be a part of the process in a way where they feel more confident in their decision, which goes back to the retention of offers and completing deals, getting to the finish line and not feeling like they overpaid. I had one recently really quick where they escalated over 300 grand in the blind game. And I called them like, we won. And they go, oh my God, we just overpaid. And then I think,
Exactly.
there
Exactly.
goes there goes the home sale in 10 years. And it's like, no wonder I don't have as many listings because my buyers, my superpower was convincing them to overpay for this property. Does that make me good? That doesn't make me feel good. That doesn't help me grow
Yeah.
my business.
Yeah, we always say, somebody gets sold in a deal, right? One side or the other.
Always.
And, at the end of the day, we know that the buyer really wants that particular home, but now they know that they paid the right appropriate amount over, not I picked a number, they would have taken 100 grand less than that, right? You don't know, but now you do. And so I
And that's
think
not
that,
to say though that you can't leverage our system to get a crazy outcome, right? Or
right.
leverage the final offer button to get some crazy outlier bid. Because again, people are willing to pay a premium to end all negotiation and competition with our buy it now option, which has never occurred in real estate before.
Well, that's
Chris, I
fantastic.
think
Bob, what do you think?
one thing I'd like to, well, I guess a couple things. One, final offer is actually redefine what a listing is. In the past, a listing has just been, here's the price, here's a description of the property, some beautiful pictures, here's how close we are to schools, and some basic demographic information, but you didn't know really all the things that were important to the seller and really how important those things are. Can you speak to that a little bit, Jocelyn? Because I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think, there's so much to how we can really truly like take a listing and get everything out of it, right? Like so much now and in general moving forward, it is so important to take if you have one listing and get maximum everything out of it. Leads, business, buyers, sellers. We have the ability for not only for you to change your talk track of how you speak to the public, to consumers about your listing in a way that should help you get more listings or get more buyers or build trust, but we have so many marketing aspects that you can leverage like our open house view. Like I've been telling people that what we are about to see is that people are not going to want to sign buyer agency agreements if they just want to go see this house really quick. So open houses are going to be really important. People are going to come and we're going to be doing more of them and they're going to be on every day of the week or whatever it may be, because this is where you're going to grow your business significantly and build trust with consumers in person and get them to sign buyer agency agreements with you. I mean, and I always say, we all do the same thing of like, where do you live? What are you looking for? Do you have an agent? Imagine saying to someone, hey, the seller's selling their home on final offer. I believe you should have all the information at your fingertips and the transparency and clarity to understand how to keep going or walk away or choose to win or choose to lose, which you've never had before in the industry. You're building trust, you're aligning with consumers, and you're growing your business. You can really take a listing and do a lot more with it than this simple just listed postcard and the same stuff everyone does.
Well, I think that's something that people have not thought of, and it really struck me when you said that earlier when we were talking earlier that open houses, because I hadn't thought the next step through. I know that the requirement's going to be if someone wants to see a house, you have to sign the agreement, and they're going to go no. I just want to see the house, and so the next logical step is open houses. And at IAD, we actually just did an entire 2-hour seminar on open houses and how it should work, what to do, those type of things. So it's actually quite good timing for both sides, because I didn't even think about it until you said it. It was like, that is the natural progression of what you'd expect to see, is people saying, I just have an open house. I'm not signed with anybody. I just want to take a look in the neighborhood. And now we're going to have the homes, every neighborhood's going to be littered with open houses, as you said, probably many days of the week. Yep. Trying to get people through, and if you're really, really good at open houses, this is going to be good for you. So,
but you can become good with our system with a new talk track. It doesn't cost you money to have a new talk track, right? The idea is that you're just talking to consumers about something they care about, building trust, aligning with their needs, and keeping them in the door longer to convert. And that goes the same with just taking a listing. And I have a younger person on my team who, for my listing, she does the nosy neighbor door knockers now herself. She invests in it herself, and she invites the neighbors to be active participants in the process by scanning the QR code on the marketing material and following along. She's a brand new agent, and she got her first listing last week. So it's, these are ways where you can really double down on getting the most out of anything in real estate by having a talk track that is aligning with consumers and getting ahead of the marketing message. Remember, consumers here, we're lazy, we're overpaid, and we have no value. Are we going to keep letting them say that, or are we going to get in front of it and say, come be a part of the process like you've never been before? Never miss an opportunity to make an offer ever again.
Well, I think it's also exciting to see that final offer is technology that actually makes the realtor more essential than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Because 100%. Even though it's consumer facing, you need to have a realtor to actually take advantage of the platform, but you need a realtor to really, give context to the data that the platform provides. Mm-hmm. So it makes a good agent even better, because it really does make you an essential part of the process.
Well, I'll tell you guys, we've hit a few really, really important points here. And again, I am very, very excited about our partnership, our opportunity here, and being one of the first international firms really to incorporate final offer for all of our agents. It's all part of the package. Everybody gets it. And we want everyone to use it quite extensively, because we're trying to make the best professionals in the industry. So thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you, Bob, for joining me today. I think we've answered a lot of questions and hopefully opened a lot of eyes out there. So
great.
Thanks,
Chris.
guys.
Have a great day.
Bye.